Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Talk Radio. So, today I want to talk about something that keeps coming up in my life, which is being assertive versus being aggressive. And as a woman, and after all of these things kept happening, I started speaking to a lot of women about this, and they deal with the exact same thing. So, I know it's a very common occurrence for female presenting people that anytime we're assertive, it's seen as aggressive because women are so often, we have been programmed our entire lives to be passive. So when we're finally assertive, it's seen as aggressive. Yet when men are assertive, it's just seen as a normal part of them. They're just programmed to be assertive. Oh, and also when men are aggressive, oh, no, I was just being assertive. But again, it's all part of the societal norms that have been programmed into all of us. So there's four things, right? There's passive, there's aggressive, there's assertive, and there's passive aggressive. Assertive is what you want, but we've all been taught to be so passive that women especially find it hard, first of all, to even be assertive. And then when we are assertive, a lot of us are being more and more assertive these days, including myself, because again, I'll tell you a story of what happened. We're seen as being rude. And it's so frustrating because it's like, I'm not being rude, I'm just being assertive. Don't get me wrong, I have been rude. All of us have been rude in our lives. And I look back on those moments and I think, okay, how could I have reacted differently in that moment? I absolutely have been rude to people in the past. But in these certain situations, I wasn't being rude, I was being assertive, but that person took it as me being rude. So I want to tell you one of the things that happened. I signed up for this B2B software. And after I signed up, they give you a 30-day window to test out the software and then sign up if you like the software. So I sign up, they called me, emailed me, and left me a voicemail every single day, multiple times a day for a week. And I wasn't answering my phone. I'm like, guys, I haven't even had a chance to look at the software because I'm busy. I looked at it a little bit, but not fully intensely enough to know whether or not I wanted to subscribe to this service. So finally, there was one day I got 3 phone calls in a row from this company. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I pick up the phone and I said, hi, I know you're just trying to do your job, but your company has called me, emailed me, and left me a voicemail multiple times a day this whole week. I said, can you please take me off your call log? I will look at the software when I get a chance, and if I'm interested, I'll sign up. And the woman on the other end of the phone happened to be a woman. She was like, ah. And I thought, I was not rude in any way. I was assertive while still holding respect for you, somebody who's being they were being aggressive with their sales tactics, to come after somebody multiple times a day to try and get them to sign on for the software that I haven't even had a chance to look at. And they probably know that. That's aggressive. But yet when I'm assertive to try and tell them, stop doing that behavior, stop. And I'm assertive with my decision and I'm holding my boundary firm, I'm seen as aggressive and rude. And it has to change. It has to change. And I wanted to talk about today, what is the difference between being assertive, aggressive, and passive? So I want to explain what first passive communication is. Again, this is what all women have been literally taught to do our entire lives. By the way, this comes from therapistaid.com. Passive communication. During passive communication, a person prioritizes the needs, wants, and feelings of others, even at their own expense. Women have absolutely been taught to do this, especially prioritizing the needs of men over their own. The person does not express their own needs or does not stand up for themselves. This can lead to them being taken advantage of, even by well-meaning people who are unaware of the passive communicator's needs and wants. Personally, I feel like they absolutely are aware that they're taking advantage of passive communicators. So passive communication. People are soft-spoken and quiet. Women have literally been taught to do this our entire lives. What's that phrase that a lot of parents use? My parents never used it, but I know many have. It's better to be seen and not heard. I think that's what it is. It's better to be seen and not heard. Allowing others to take advantage of you, prioritizing the needs of others over your own. Poor eye contact, looking down or away when speaking to others. Not expressing your own needs, and this can often lead to a lack of confidence in oneself. So aggressive communication. Through aggressive communication, a person expresses that only their needs, wants, and feelings matter. The other person is bullied and their needs are ignored. So an aggressive communicator is easily frustrated. They speak in a loud and overbearing way. They are unwilling to compromise often. They use criticism, humiliation, and domination during conversation. They frequently interrupt and they do not listen to others, and they are disrespectful towards others. That's aggressive, okay? And I agree with all of those things. Assertive. So assertive communication, again, this is what you want. This is what everybody should be, is assertive. Assertive communication emphasizes the importance of both people's needs. During the assertive communication process, a person stands up for their own needs, wants, and feelings, but also listens to and respects the other person's needs. Assertive communication is defined by confidence and willingness to compromise. They listen without interruption. They clearly state their needs and wants. They are willing to compromise. They stand up for their own rights. They have a confident tone and body language, and they make good eye contact. Another thing I want to add there that isn't added is they hold firm to their boundaries, because a lot of times I feel like we kind of sneak into passive territory when we know that one of our boundaries we need upheld, but the other person keeps pushing back. We need to hold firm to what we've said. No, I don't like that behavior, and I won't continue to tolerate that behavior, or whatever it is, right? Okay, so they have examples of a scenario here. So scenario, a friend asks to borrow your car. This will be a big inconvenience for you because you won't have a car. The passive person might say, yeah, I guess that's fine. Do you need me to fill the tank? An aggressive person will say, no way. Why would I let you borrow your car? You're crazy to even ask me. An assertive person would say, I need my car that day and the entire week. I might be able to pick you up and drop you off. Again, holding firm to your boundaries. It's my car. I need my car. I'm so sorry that you're in that situation, but you can't have my entire car the whole week because I also need it. I might be able to assist you in something that you're going through, such as picking you up and dropping you off, but you can't take my entire vehicle, that sort of thing. So there was another website that I found talks about aggressive versus assertive, and I wanted to read just the first paragraph here. Communication difficulties are probably the number one cause of conflict, breakdown of relationship, and resulting stress. Unfortunately, communication skills are often taught through observation and without proper example of unhealthy communication skills that are simply passed down. So I think this definitely applies to women, because we've all seen like our mothers even be very passive with the men in their lives, and it's not their fault. It's not women's fault. We've been literally taught to be this way. And so we've learned through observing how our mothers, our grandmothers, whatever, reacted and responded to their own husbands and to other people throughout their lives. And those, sometimes direct, but oftentimes indirect messages were received by us as little girls and internalized. And we say, okay, well, I guess I can't be loud around men. I can't assert my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter as much as theirs. Their opinion is king, that sort of thing. Those sort of messages are literally programmed into us. So then when we become adults and we start healing and we start doing the work and we start actually standing up for ourselves and standing up for our needs, it's seen as other people as aggressive and rude. And it's so frustrating, including other women who haven't done the work, who are still sitting in that mentality of like, how dare her tell me her needs? How dare her assert her boundaries? Like, no, it's so well ingrained in the zeitgeist of our current times, and it's something that's very difficult to navigate, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. So I heard a quote the other day that said, hold on, I gotta pull it up. It said, what's the difference between being assertive and aggressive? Your gender. Because men can be assertive all day long, or they can be aggressive, but it's just simply seen as assertive. But yet the second a woman is assertive, it's seen as aggressive and rude, which is completely incorrect. So, I want to tell you another example. So I was at the grocery store the other day, and I'm in the egg aisle, and there's like carts everywhere, right? So I like kind of put my cart wherever I could find the space, and then walked up to the eggs, and I'm looking to try and find the eggs that I want. And there's a couple standing behind me, and I see them, and I grab the eggs that I want, and then I'm turning around, putting the eggs in my basket, and I said, am I in your way? And the girl goes, yeah. And I went, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And I just, moved my cart out of the way and went on my merry way. And I thought, hell yeah, girl. Like, she didn't feel the need. She was very assertive. Yeah, you're in our way. But she didn't also feel the need to be like, yeah, you are. I'm sorry. Take your time. Like, that's what women typically do. We're so apologetic of somebody else who's in our way in this instance. And I was proud of her, weirdly, in that moment. I was like, hell yeah, queen. Like, I was in your way. I was. But she wasn't mean about it at all. She just goes, yeah, like, you are in my way. It's just moments like that, I think, that are going to help to reshift this when not only men do the work, but when women start to do the work as well, such as in these moments. There might have been a time in my life, there would have been a time in my life, especially when I was younger, where if she had said that, like, yeah, you're in my way, I would have taken it the wrong way. I would have been like, bitch, or I would have been like, rudeness, like, and taken it the wrong way when she didn't mean it like that at all. She was just being assertive. She asserted her needs and wants, and that she did need eggs, and I was in her way. And it's so interesting how, when you've healed from that and when you've brought awareness to these issues, how you tend to start to react differently. And I was proud of myself in that moment, and I was also really proud of her, a stranger that I didn't know. If you have ever been called rude or aggressive when you were simply being assertive, I see you, and I'm proud of you. Keep doing you. Keep being assertive. Keep asserting your boundaries. Keep holding steadfast to your boundaries. We all know that there is obviously a line between being rude and being assertive. We know there is. I can't exactly tell you where that line is because I think it's perceived differently for each person. But I very much doubt that most women are being rude in those situations, and they're just being assertive, right? So we have to keep doing it. We have to keep being assertive, and hopefully over time, the perception of women being assertive will slowly begin to shift and change. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Again, my book, Don't You Fucking Dare, is available for purchase through Amazon. The link is below. And if you like these episodes, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm also a meditation instructor on the Insight Timer app. I teach there every Sunday at 10 a.m. And may you be happy, may you be well, may you be joyous and at ease, sending you infinite love and light. And until next time.